let's start.
मैं करूँ?
Hi guys, and welcome back to Real Talk Central. I'm Kasha,
I'm Lav.
and we're here today to talk about everything.
क्या है ये?
Hi guys, and welcome back to Real Talk Central. I'm Kasha,
And I'm Lav.
and today we're here to talk about everything health in our 30s.
Yes.
So we're calling it Hacking Health
in
for
our
our 30s. So in the last podcast, we kind of touched upon how our relationship with health has changed drastically from our 20s to 30s. So I think we talked about it a lot. So if you haven't watched it, please go back and watch our first episode. But our relationship has changed in a way that in 20s, it was all about being reactive, about our workouts and taking care of our health. So if if I had an injury and had to recover from it, I would go and work out. Or if I had to lose weight, I would work out. But now entering in our 30s, it has now become, something that we need to sustain our daily livelihood.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take care of your health, then you wake up with sudden pains from neck injuries, from just sleeping badly, or even like hangovers last nearly 2 to 3 business days. So just to be effective in the way we recover and our bodies recover with our new lifestyle of 30s, it's become a lot more proactive now. So in today's episode, we want to touch about 4 different themes.
which are very relevant to all of us. Starting with exercise, that's the physical workout. Then we move on to nutrition and the kind of supplements we all take. Then moving on to sleep, which is very important and hardly spoken about. And the last is stress. So that is also something we'd really like to talk about. So let's navigate health in our 30s. Even if you're in 20s, you can watch this so you know what's coming. And let's see where we get after this discussion.
And a quick disclaimer that the 4 themes that we will touch upon will not be gyan, because I think as mature adults and as 30-year-olds, we've all been very abreast with everything that's out there in terms of what we need to do to take better care of our health. But the idea of this podcast is to really talk about practically, as working adults with busy lives, how can we integrate certain things and hack our way into living a more healthy lifestyle in 30s. So we'll, hopefully keep it more applicable and actionable. So yeah, let's dive into it.
Yes. So starting with exercise.
Yes.
Exercise, I feel, is something that all of us would have tried our hand at. Some or the other form of exercise you must be doing in your life. But it's very important to find that mojo, to find that one thing that really gives you that reason to show up regularly. I'm not saying every day, maybe like thrice a week, you go for a sport or you run or anything that you do. You should be motivated to show up for it. And I think that's one test for me to see if I'm really made for that form of exercise. Because if I don't like showing up for it, then I will not do it regularly. So that for me is the litmus test of how I evaluate different forms of exercise for my body.
And what do you think has worked for you?
For me, playing lawn tennis has really worked, and I found it about 2 years back while walking in City Fort one evening. Because before that, the only thing I would show up for regularly was walking. And if anybody knows, in City Fort, the tennis courts are next to the walking track. So I would see a lot of people playing tennis. And one day I showed up and I asked the coach, and to my surprise, it was easier than I thought to just enroll myself in one tennis class, and then there was no looking back. So I think that really worked, because that's 1 hour where I'm present. I don't have my phone with me. The whole world is outside that tennis court, and I'm just looking at how to score the next point. So that really brings my center to where it should be.
Amazing.
And what about you?
So for me, I think I have tried lots of different formats. But I think at the fundamental core of it, I have just trained myself to like working out and taking care of my body. But the way in which I show up has changed a lot in the last 6 years. So I've tried yoga, I've done at home gym, I have done at home 40-minute, aerobic exercises. I have done running.
Hmm.
I have done swimming also. I picked up at some point. Then tennis also. So there's lots of things that I keep trying, and I think that really is also the key, right?
Yeah.
Because the more you try and put yourself out there, the easier it becomes for you to figure out what's working and what's not.
Hmm.
So I think that putting myself out there really, I think, brought me to the current favorite, which is going to the gym. And I think I got this habit in Dublin because when I was there, I had enrolled in a gym where they used to have circuit training and functional strength classes.
Hmm.
And essentially, you would have like 8 different stations in your 1 hour class, and you have to do certain reps in every station, and then do a couple of circuits in that 1 hour that you're there. And I really, really used to love it because I would just go there and I don't have to use my brain. I just have to switch off and, get into my zone. And then I know exactly how my 1 hour will be spent. So I really enjoyed that. But since I've come back, when we relocated back to Delhi, I was really struggling to like go to the gym that we have in our home. I was not able to work out by myself. I just don't know why. So I didn't know why at the time. I know now because I had a chat with my husband and we were talking about it and trying to get to the bottom of this. And his insight was, which I think hit the nail on the head, was the fact that in Dublin, I was used to go to the gym with people, and there were other people
Right.
who were there who were doing the workout as well. So going to at my gym in the home was not motivating enough for me because I was just there by myself. So I think since I had that realization a couple of months ago, I joined BoxFit, which is a very similar format to circuit training, but it's for much smaller group of people, 4 5 people. But what I love about it is how you're just surrounded by like-minded people, and everybody's talking about protein and protein shakes and eating well, not drinking, etc. So the same mindset gets kind of instilled in you.
And that energy also,
That energy
the whole
is
room,
really
yeah,
good.
it's
Yeah.
infectious, and
Yeah.
you end up showing up more, and then you make friends, and
Yeah.
then there's no looking back
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
So
So I think
yeah.
that's something that stuck with me now. So I hopefully will keep enjoying that. So I think one thing to keep in mind is to just try as many types of workouts that you can,
and
then land it.
mindfully try, because I remember I was enrolled in all different sorts of classes. My parents did their best to make me try everything when I was a child. Like I did swimming, I did lawn tennis, I tried badminton. At some point, I was in taekwondo, and they tried, but I only remember being flustered about attending so many classes.
Yeah.
So now when I look back, I realize, yeah, I really enjoyed playing tennis that time, but
Yeah.
because I was like studying also on the side and doing a lot of things, at some point it became tedious. So just to go back down memory lane and see what did you really enjoy, like what did you really look forward to going as a child also, can really help, because then you can pinpoint, okay, this is something that maybe if I try today, I can make that as a good form of workout that I actually show up for.
Yeah.
So mindfully trying and keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so to wrap up this section now, we'll quickly get into the last question for each other, is on simple hacks that we can incorporate into our busy lives to make it easier to work out.
Yes. So I think I don't consider myself the healthiest person. So I think for what works for me still is just a walk at the end of any day, wherever you've not been able to work out or move. A walk really helps calm your mind and brings me back to my center, at least. And do it at a place where you have done like good walks that have really filled your soul. Because I go to Siri Fort and I've listened to like all sorts of spiritual podcasts and Shabbat Kirtans there. So whenever I go there, I instantly feel calm, and I look forward to those walks. So I think that is something that I will never compromise on.
Amazing.
What about you?
For me, I think there are two things that really work for me. One thing, the first thing is to have, it's a very type A thing, and I don't know if it'll work for most people, but it is to put things on the calendar. So I live my life on my calendar. Even my social outings are on calendar, because once it gets calendarized, then there is no way it is not happening. It's what Salman Khan says. मैंने एक बार कमिटमेंट कर दी तो मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनती,
अपने आप
अब मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं
बाप
सुनती.
की भी नहीं.
So I am a very sunky that way. So I like to put everything that I need to do on my to-do list on my calendar. So simple things like if I know I have a tennis class at 6:30, then if it's on the calendar, it's always top of mind and it's a reminder to myself that okay, I cannot skip this. And if there's a meeting that is being scheduled, I make sure that the timing is such that doesn't spill into it and then forces me to miss my class. So I try to manage my work around it as much as possible, because I honestly feel that workouts need to be equally, if not more important than our work meetings, like
Very true.
calendarizing them, right? Because that's something that you should prioritize, because that's what will take you,
Because
in the long run.
work meetings are just making money, but workouts are also making you.
Yeah.
So it's a very important point कि
Yeah.
ये चीज नहीं compromise होनी
Yeah.
चाहिए.
So just like we have our daily stand-ups and weekly stand-ups with our team, and that's a non-negotiable. So should your workouts in your calendar should be.
And
So,
you should not feel guilty about it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I feel like some people like even I would feel guilty कि यार मैं meeting cancel कर रही हूँ tennis class के लिए. But it's important. It's
important.
scheduled.
Yeah.
So why not? Like
Yeah.
meeting abhi आई है. It can. I'm sure if it's just happen, it can wait.
Yeah.
But your systems should not compromise
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, so I think having the calendar is one, and then the second thing that you just said is the systems, right? So how can I have an ecosystem or systems around that one habit that I want to build? And I think it's a very basic thing. I read it some years ago on how to, in Atomic Habits maybe, on how do we want to, like, if you want to build a new habit, then what should we be doing to support it?
Cue and the
So,
reward.
and cue and reward system. So I think one thing was to mentally hack it is the night before, put your clothes out. And it may seem like a task in the night also,
Yeah, it does.
but it just cuts out your stress in the morning. So if I know I have to eat an apple before going for my workout, I'll have it cut and sent to me the night before, so that I just have everything ready and I'm good to go. I'll also carry my protein shake with me, and then I'll drink it right after class. So when the peripherals are systemized, then it takes the mental load out of you, right? Because if you're going for class, then you have to mentally also think about कपड़े क्या पहनने हैं, खाना क्या खाना है, उसके बाद क्या खाना है. So if you take the mental load out of it, then just going on autopilot to execute it becomes a lot easier, at least for me.
Absolutely.
So I think that's another one that has helped. But please share in comments below on other hacks that have helped you stay more consistent with your workouts.
So now we move on to the next section, which is talking about
Nutrition.
And we're starting with Cheetos.
Cheers.
So, unlike having Cheetos, what are different systems that have helped you in nutrition in your life?
Yeah, nutrition का तो पहले हाल, again give a disclaimer that we will not talk about क्या खाना चाहिए क्या नहीं खाना चाहिए. I think वो सब जो भी वीडियो देख रहा है उसको पता है कि बैलेंस डाइट होनी चाहिए, फ्रूट्स होने चाहिए, वेजिटेबल्स होनी चाहिए, प्रोटीन होना चाहिए, फाइबर होना चाहिए. I think we all know that. And I have also figured, because I have struggled a lot to figure out what kind of food suits me. And I have figured कि भाई it is such an individualistic journey कि no two people can have the same impact of the same food that they're eating. Everybody's bodies reacts differently to the same food. So it is really a journey that it is a very lonely journey, because only you understand your body, and you have to be very patient when you're trying to figure it out कि क्या काम कर रहा है क्या नहीं कर रहा है. तो मैं तो 3-4 साल से I've been talking to different nutritionists and different experts to guide me into to figure out ki what makes my acne worse, or what is the issue with my constipation, what can help me improve my gut health and my skin health and things like that.
You did some allergy test also.
Allergy test also I've done. उसमें तो भाई 50 चीजें out of 60 were I was intolerant to. It was an intolerance test. So I think I've done all of that, and I've figured कि यार all of this now just leads to more overcomplication. You have to keep it very simple, and as long as you go back to your roots ना, दादी नानी क्या खाते थे वो बेस्ट है चीज.
इतना सोचते नहीं थे वो. They never overcomplicated, they never overanalyzed the stuff that's going in your diet, but still they made everything work.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just everything from farm to table, right? In a way, as clean as possible, as close to the source as possible, and as unprocessed as possible. So as long as you keep these basic principles in mind, I think you're good.
और ये भी नहीं हो पाता
but
जितना हो पाए is what
Yeah.
It's a journey, right?
Yeah.
It's never going to be 100%
Hmm.
unless you are a superhuman,
Human, yeah.
which you might be, but we are not.
Hmm.
So जितना हो पाए.
Hmm.
Again, मुझे भी ऐसा लगता है कि I'm not the healthiest when it comes to eating, because हो जाता है, बाहर का हो जाता है, then you have to like social gatherings हो गए, या sometimes you're feeling like you want something junk, and but even in that just see कि क्या चीज है जो less sugar वाली है, या something which is not मैदा and it's almond flour. तो Zomato पे भी वो options होते हैं. By the way, that's one tip. अगर 2 किलो कम करने हैं अगले 1 हफ्ते में, तो जोमेटो की नोटिफिकेशंस ऑफ कर दो. क्योंकि जब वो बोलता है ना आज बिरयानी खानी है, तो फिर
नहीं भी खानी होगी तो खाने का मन कर जाएगा.
फंसते हैं उसमें, तभी तो वो करते हैं ये सब. तो दिस इज वन टिप. लूज 2 kgs in 1 week by putting your notifications of Zomato, Swiggy off.
Or better still, just delete the apps, right? Like I think
नहीं हो पाता.
नहीं पता, because I usually do this. I do this with Instagram a lot. कि when I feel like मैं mindlessly scroll करी जा रही, I just detox and I delete the app. So with Zomato, Swiggy, Blinkit also, I have this thingy one week in every month. I just detox it. So every 3-4 weeks, I will just go 1 week without these apps. And you will just realize कि you don't need them.
That's true.
घर पे सब कुछ बन जाएगा भाई, जो भी आपको खाना है तो बन जाएगा.
एंड उसी टाइम में जितने में वो आ जाएगा
उतने में बन जाता है भाई. हम इंडिया में रहते हैं. We have enough support and access to resources. But I think to your point on systems, जो मुझे भी अभी realize हुआ कि again, if you really want to hack health, कि simplify हम कैसे कर सकते हैं चीज को, और any practical tips जो हम day to day में कर सकते हो. So one thing that really works for me, again my type A personality comes out here, is that I've made a timetable of all the foods that I like, which are home cooked, and जो घर पे cook अच्छा भी बनाता है, because that is also very important. Because cooks have certain dishes that they make really well, and you just like them more, versus if you like shahi paneer but he doesn't make good shahi paneer, then you will not enjoy it. So I figured out, okay, the Venn diagram of overlap between what I like and what he makes well. I made a timetable which has breakfast, lunch, dinner written in it. So एक तो that eliminates the everyday discussion. ये जो रोज discussion होता है ना, कल क्या बनेगा, कल क्या बनाना है, I just cannot. So I think that is really helpful कि उनको पता है कि क्या कब बनना है. And of course ऊपर नीचे कभी मन करे तो I tell him कि ये मत बनाओ वो बनाओ. So I think that is one. And second is this whole protein का जो fiasco है कि protein खाना है. I think I've really struggled with it, especially since I turned vegetarian. तो अब जैसे मैंने आफ्टर many months and years of trying to figure out कि कैसे होगा, अब मैंने simplify कर दिया उसको कि भाई अभी I'll just start with 1 gram per kg of weight, so 60 grams in a day खाना है. Simplified further and break it down into 3 meals. So how do I consume 20 grams of protein in every meal? That will ensure that every day I'm doing 60 grams. तो उसका बहुत simple hack है, सुबह 4 अंडे खा लो, 4 boiled eggs, whites only I eat, that is 20 grams. Then lunch और pre or post workout एक scoop of protein powder ले लो, 25 ग्राम हो गया. And रात को 1 bowl of hung curd, 200 ग्राम दही को हैंग अगर आप कर देते हो तो उसमें 20 ग्राम्स प्रोटीन होता है. तो अपने डिनर के साथ वो एक बोल खा लो. That's it. So I just try to follow these 3 things every day. अभी मैंने recently इस साल में शुरू किया है वो. So I'm pretty new to it, still have not been that regular.
But it's easy to manage.
Yeah. So I know like there are 3 things जो 20 grams मुझे दे रही हैं. आप रोज आपको बस ये करना है. And if you build this into your system, then you're not spending every day thinking about कितना इसमें है, कितना प्रोटीन है, क्या है. तो how, then these 3 things I know. And अब मैं इन्हीं को रोज मैंने मतलब try to find a way to just incorporate into my diet every day.
That's a very good thing. And what protein are you having right now?
I have just started Super U.
Oh my god, seriously?
Yeah.
I've also just ordered it.
Yeah.
Because it's on Blinkit.
Yeah. It's been very good. Like it's been suiting my gut. Whey was not suiting me.
Yeah. And it's yum.
It's yum.
I feel like that's very important for me because I tried Cosmix and all these vegan protein.
So bad.
It was so bad.
The pea protein was.
I ended up making pancakes from it. And उसमें मतलब बहुत ही कम प्रोटीन था और बाकी सब कुछ बहुत ज्यादा था, तब जाके वो टेस्टी बने. बट वो बड़े गंदे हैं. एंड वनीला तो उसका सक्स टू द कोर. एक बार मैंने गलती से वनीला ही मंगवा लिया था. बट I'm so glad we're having the
Yeah.
same protein, and it's also credits to Ranveer Singh
Yeah.
because it was a very visible protein. So yeah.
And I think I did it because like Ranveer Singh backing it up
Hmm.
just adds a little bit of credibility to the
Credibility.
product.
Hmm.
So because there's so many protein powders also out there, you never know what to trust and what not to trust. So I went with Super You for that, and it's been suiting my gut.
Yeah.
So I think ये तीन चीजें अगर आप like you figure out for yourself if you eat non-veg etc. then कितना चिकन आपको रोस्ट चाहिए तो अगर आप ऐसे incorporate कर लो तो हो जाता है. So I think that's our little hack on nutrition.
Yes.
Anything else?
Let's talk about supplements.
Yes,
You
important.
take any?
So I do take a few supplements. I think omega-3, magnesium are my everyday, and multivitamin. These three are my everyday. But vitamin D is once a week.
Yeah, very important for
Yeah.
Indians.
Yeah.
सबकी लो होती है. So yes, D I also take, and I take 1000 mg of C because C is something that even if it's in excess, your body will get
Not
rid of
store,
it.
yeah.
Get rid of it. So I make sure because मुझे inflammation और ये सब चीजों का बहुत रहता है, तो C is something that I'm very regular on. And then hair and skin के लिए E. That's something that I take. But I don't take. I've started taking magnesium for sleep, but not omega-3. एक बारी मैंने fish oil start किया था, but वो भी बंद हो गया for some reason. But magnesium is doing good.
Yeah.
I think that's, and there's, my mom has gotten a magnesium moisturizer that she comes in my room every night and she's like ये मल लो. And actually उससे बहुत अच्छी नींद आती है. So it's very good.
Yeah, magnesium is really good. +1 for sleep. Like I was struggling a lot with sleep, so my gynae gave it to me, and that's really been a game changer. So magnesium is really good.
Okay. Anything else that you take? Any vaccines or anything that you've taken?
I haven't taken any vaccines actually, and I do hear that we all should be taking the cervical cancer vaccination.
But पहले मुझे बोला था, मतलब they recommended it to me when I was 24, and then I spoke to somebody in the family, and they said 23 के ऊपर नहीं लेना चाहिए because that is only for young girls. So we didn't take it. But now the news is that you can take it even when you're 30. I think they've advanced something. I don't know. I don't have enough information on it yet to not feel like a guinea pig.
Nee, but actually it's interesting because I've heard this chatter around a lot of my girlfriends that everybody has now gotten their first round of vaccinations because earlier, maybe in 20s, we weren't that aware also. Ki this is something that's important or it wasn't never a priority.
And our moms never got it.
No,
so
moms never got it.
They were never like prioritizing it either.
Yeah. So I think aajkal too, because we are being so proactive about our health, whatever we hear from our circles on whatever is good for our body, we're just getting it done. So cervical cancer, actually the vaccination is on my list also. I think there are 3 doses you have to take, 3 months apart each. And then you're done for life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start my vaccination soon, yeah.
And even like visits to the gynac, I feel unless you're pregnant, nobody ever went unless like you have something, an issue. So this is something being normalized now. Like my friends that I speak to, even if they are not pregnant or married, they will have trips to the gynac every 6 months just to see everything is all right. And that never, like my mom or their mom never did it.
100%.
So I think it's important to just see everything is going okay. Not just your gynac. I feel your
annual health checkup, like the
annual,
GP.
Annual health checkup is important. अपना test vest ये hemoglobin and all that ये सब करवा लेना चाहिए because
now so mostly I think corporates have this as covered also for employees, right? So it is, you don't even have to spend money from your own pocket. But it is just something that everybody should get done. And I think I became very religious at it when we were in Dublin. Because every year we would come to India and we would just get everything checked up. So, मैंने तो क्या-क्या checkup कराए.
Yeah, you told me that it was a 6-hour test.
Yeah, 6-hour test. It has the TMT, the treadmill test, and then you have the dentist, you have eye care, you have blood tests, you have ultrasound, everything. So it is just important to be on top of it, because these signs like slowly develop over time. And why do you want to be in a space when it's probably too late?
Yeah.
So everybody should get annual health checkups done, talk to your gynac regularly, and get all the vaccinations.
First of all, have a gynac. Because I think many of the people I know got a gynac when they got pregnant. So have a doctor
Yeah.
who you can talk to about your menstruation and other stuff.
Now we will talk about the third theme under hacking health, and it is all about sleep. I think a very, very underrated,
ज़्यादा बात नहीं करता कोई
very underrated, what is the word for it?
component of health.
कि आप उसको इतनी वैल्यू नहीं करते, कोई बात नहीं करता, एंड पीपल टेक इट एज कि देख लेंगे, मतलब एज अ सेकेंडरी थिंग दैट यू हैव टू डू और यू विल जस्ट एंड अप डूइंग, बट वी आर नॉट वेरी इंटेंशनल अबाउट इट. So it is something that's very under the radar, but it is actually proven studies that it is one of the most effective tools to help recovery for your body. That's when most of the repairs happen. Your skin, your cells, everything go under repair in that, when the time that you're asleep, and we all take it way too much for granted. And I personally have struggled with sleep a lot because I've had episodes of insomnia during COVID, and since then it's been tough for me to like prioritize my sleep. But I think it's gotten much better, and we can share, I can share some hacks that have worked for me. But what is your relationship with sleep?
I feel I can sleep as much as I can touch wood. but I feel मेरे को ये realize बहुत late हुआ, and तब हुआ जब I think for the first time I had a personal trainer in the gym, जिसने मुझे बताया कि sleep is also a very important factor, because sleep हम हमेशा lazy होने के साथ associate करते हैं. तो उसने मुझे बताया कि जिम तो आप आ रहे हो, you're breaking down your muscle, वो muscle बन कब रही है? And he asked me this question, and I was like, बन कब रही है? And then I'm thinking, and then he's like, मैंने कहा खाने में तो नहीं बन सकती. तो कहता है जब आप सोते हो तो you have to sleep on time, because I was not sleeping on time, and eventually वो results जिम में नहीं दिख रहे थे. तो he's like, you have to sleep on time because वो बनेगी तब जब आप सोओगे. So that's my first initiation on how important sleep was. And I think it's also important on when you sleep, as much as how much you sleep. Because कहते हैं ना कि 10 से 2 वाली नींद ज़्यादा important होती है. उसके बाद चाहे आप 8 घंटे भी सो जाओ, that 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. वाला sleep is the most
वो restfulness में आती है.
REM sleep जो बोलते हैं ना, restful
rapid eye movement.
हाँ, तो उसमें that is the most judicious time for you to be sleeping for repairs in your system. So पता तो हमें सब है, but
practically क्या करना चाहिए?
I feel I've identified a sleep inducer, which is reading. So my thing is 3 minutes into any book I will fall asleep, even if it is the most interesting book, because I have that whole environment, like the lights are, I only have my reading light, the lights are shut, and then everything in the room is put away, and I am in my blanket, and then I'm reading. So then 3 minutes stops, then I fall asleep. So I think that is my major go-to, and other than that I think दिक्कत नहीं होती मुझे तो. But
that's really good.
What about you?
Yeah, मेरा भी I think definitely reading. That's been a big hack for me, because I've noticed that every time I'm doom scrolling and then I go to bed, I always wake up in the morning a little groggy. I don't feel that I'm rested, and I wake up and I start yawning, which is a very bad sign, even if I've slept for 8 hours. But again, as they say, the blue light is not good for your brain right before bed. So the days that I've actually picked up my Kindle and I sleep, I always wake up a lot more fresher. So I think that's one hack. The second is that I'm extremely sensitive to light. So अगर bedroom में थोड़ी सी भी कहीं से light आ रही होती है, I just cannot sleep. So I have to wear an eye mask. And that eye mask is also like a game changer now for me, because it just blacks out everything. तो अगर दिन में भी मुझे nap लेना होता है ना, it is very easy for me to fall asleep, because I can just wear that and I crash.
Yeah.
So it's very, very good, and it really works for me. And once you put the eye mask on, you also have less itch to check your phone. So even when I'm pretending to fall asleep or I'm trying to fall asleep, I just wear my mask. कि मुझे पता है कि I don't have access to any devices, and I just have to be with my thoughts and let sleep come. So I think that really helps.
And nowadays they have weighted eye masks, I have one of them because it's for migraine. Migraine में आपको light out करनी पड़ती है ना. So I have that migraine issue which crops up every 4-5 months because of my screen time again. And that time I have been advised to use this weighted mask,
Oh.
जिसमें यहाँ weight होता है eyes पे, थोड़ा मतलब
Oh.
cushiony होता है, but that really helps blocking out all light, and because you're very sensitive to light when you have migraine pains, तो उससे नींद बहुत अच्छी आती है. Like I just realized when you were speaking about it कि that is a good sleep inducer, so I can probably use it without migraines also, just to induce sleep.
100%.
No, that's very good.
Yeah.
But एक और चीज I feel sleep में कि what we are consuming before sleeping, that is जो मतलब हम doom scrolling तो करते रहते हैं और उसमें वो गंजी चुड़ैल की वीडियोस देख के अगर आप सोओगे तो क्या ही आएगा आपके दिमाग में. So I feel that is also something that we don't think about that much, but it's very important कि वो जैसे food हमारे system में जा रहा है तो वो भी चीज हमारे system में ही जा रही है. It's food for the mind, and बहुत ही unhealthy food खा के अगर हम सोएंगे तो it will not be good.
Yeah, like 100%. And I think your sister Shivani said this really well, and I remember her saying it कि जैसे हम food consume करते हैं, it goes to our gut. तो जो हम बाकी through our senses, whatever we consume, be it through our ears, be it through our eyes, through our nose, जो भी हम environment को अपने expose करें to these senses, all of that goes to our mind. And it forms certain, waves in our minds that change the way we think. So it is very important we are exposing ourselves to positive, uplifting, feel good content. Not just right before bed, but through the day, right? In the big morning also they say रात को भी करना चाहिए. So all of that then helps and enables a peaceful sleep.
And किसी को अगर Netflix देखना ही है तो उसमें भी ऐसे
अच्छी चीजें कर लो.
find something nice. जैसे मेरे को एक बहुत अच्छा सीरीज लगता है Netflix पे, which is very cute and very sweet, called Good Witch. I recommend it to you also. भाई वो लगा के सो जाओ, हम इतने अच्छे हैं वो लोग. उनकी लाइफ में सबसे बुरा भी जो होगा ना वो इतना अच्छा होगा. तो find such things that are just genuinely innately good and invoke positive feelings. So,
even a podcast like ours, for example,
very good. Yes, such positive people.
Very nice right before bed.
Yeah. So the last segment, which is also spoken about a lot, is stress. And I will not get into why we are stressed in life and what causes stress, because I think all of us are aware.
Yeah.
But how to regulate your mental well-being, mental state, is something that I think we can share our tips on, because वो regulation में ही आधा काम हो जाता है. And
regulating the nervous system.
Regulating the nervous system. That is very important, क्योंकि ये चीज हमारे हाथ में है और ये consciously effort करना पड़ता है, जो मैंने अभी बहुत recently start किया है. But I feel it is in your hands how you react to situations. And many a times, in our days there are 100 moments where we will be agitated, be it being in traffic, or a client is not happy with your work, or your boss is screaming at you. How you react to that shapes the next happening in your life, which is very interesting. That मतलब ठीक है, तुम पे कोई चिल्ला रहा है, अगर तुम उस पे दोबारा चिल्लाओगे तो then universe will give you more instances to snap back. But अगर तुम पे कोई चिल्ला रहा है और तुमने उसको neutralize कर दिया by being calm and understanding what the hell his problem is, then the universe will give you more instances to be calm. So the chain reaction is in our hands, and it is difficult, but it is possible, because I've been able to do this. That if I'm in traffic, one thing I don't do is check Google Maps. मतलब करके चल लो, but उसके बाद वो 13 to 12 to 11 to 10 देखते देखते, और फिर वो गलती से अगर 14 हो गया तो भाई बहुत दिमाग खराब होता है, and then I just lose, and there's absolute anxiety. So don't do that. I think ये apps में आधा काम हो जाता. So that really helps me. But what about you?
यार मेरा तो I think simple funda है कि I think I got more intentional about managing stress since I got this smart ring. And I'll tell you why, because I bought this smart ring when I was in the US. This is the Aura ring. When I bought this, I think I never knew how stressed I was until I saw the data from the ring. And again, like while a lot of people might feel, and I used to be one of those कि भाई मुझे नहीं देखना है. I don't want a report card every morning कि मेरे क्या क्या stats हैं, biometrics हैं. A lot of people don't want that, and it's totally fine. But I personally feel कि what gets measured gets managed. So unless I know where am I starting from and what is my baseline, I will never be able to improve it. So I started, recording, like I started putting this ring on, and उसमें फिर app में पता चलने लगा मुझे कि what is even stress. Like stress is essentially just your high BP, right? Having a higher blood pressure than you need to or you should. So I started identifying the instances around which I was having, a higher heart rate. Especially during work, there would be some like stressful meetings. In anticipation of the meeting, you will get stressed.
Yeah.
Because you have an important meeting with a senior, stakeholder or manager or director. So you get stressed. Or it could be if you're having like a discussion or argument with somebody you love, when you have difference of opinions, then your heart rate goes up. Or it's also when you're watching content that is disturbing, right? So identifying these instances, I think that was step 1 for me. And step 2 is कि ये work related to, especially मैंने देखा है, very simple method of just deep breaths. In that moment, they really help me calm down. क्योंकि मुझे पता है I can like now तो I can feel कि मेरा unnecessarily stress high हो रहा है. So I just take a few moments before these meetings or when I'm feeling it is to just close my eyes and just do 2-3 rounds of deep breaths, and I feel my heart rate coming down and relaxing. So I think that is a very simple, effective
And
way.
it's in your hands.
It's
मतलब
in your
आगे का भी
hands.
तुम, I feel you're just attracting more calmer situations in life.
So deep breaths really, really help me. And the second thing I do overall, like this is not related to any trigger, but if on weekends, if I'm at home, I think one activity I really enjoyed doing was drawing mandala art. So usme basically, if anybody doesn't know, we'll maybe like share a link or something. But essentially, concentric circle होते हैं. Concentric circles होते हैं. There are like patterns, 4-5 patterns that you can identify, and you just draw them repetitively in concentric circles to create a pattern of your own. So I really enjoyed that because in that moment also you're fully present, and it's a very calming exercise to do. So I've really enjoyed that as well. So I think these 2 things, they just help me regulate my system on an everyday basis. And then maybe the third thing is just keeping the phone down when you can. Because I think constantly जो हमारी habit बन गई है अब scrolling, like that is just, I've noticed that also when I'm doom scrolling a lot during the day, my resting heart rate at night is very high. Because you're constantly stimulating your brain, right? So your brain doesn't need that much information.
And so many times I don't realize when I've opened Instagram and I'm on my 8th reel and I'm like, ये कब हुआ?
Exactly.
So it's so ingrained in your system that your fingers just move and you don't know, and that's the most accessible app anyway on your phone. मेरे तो नीचे है वो. I think वो भी move कर
delete कर दो भाई.
हाँ.
Delete, मैं तो delete करा हुआ है.
Find it, make it as hard for you to find as possible. And एक तो मेरे को उसमें वो भी आता है, put timer. तो वो आता है, you have 5 minutes
then
left.
Then you'll say
but
not
I'll
now,
like,
not now.
Dismiss because I know myself.
Yeah.
So that timer is not helping.
But anything else that has worked for you?
I think just ये apps का management is the main thing. अपने apps manage कर लो, कम से कम app रखो और सबके notifications off कर दो. मतलब ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा messages के on हो सकते हैं and all that, WhatsApp के, but सबके off कर दो, बहुत सही रहेगी life तुम्हारी.
I agree. Okay.
So I think that wraps up hacking health जितना हमें पता है. And you guys, if you have any other feedback or any other tips that can help us 30-year-olds, then please drop them in the comments. And like, share, and subscribe because we are coming up with more such topics very soon.
And as always, let's keep it real.
Yes.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Do you want momos?
I'll order.
Veggie steam momos, 8 pieces. And spring roll, garlic bread. Street style momo chutney additional तो नहीं चाहिए ना?
Health podcast record हो रहा है.
This is mental health.